In a world where laughter was king.
No in a world, Jack.
What do you mean, no in a world?
It's not that kind of movie.
Oh? Okay. In a land that...
No in a land either.
In a time...
Nah, I don't think so.
In a land before time.
It's about a comedian, Jack.
One man.
No.
When your life is no longer your own.
What does that mean?
When everything you know is wrong.
That's wrong.
In an outpost.
No.
On the edge of space.
There's no space.
A girl.
No.
Two girls.
No.
Now.
No.
More than ever.
Stop it.
A renegade cop.
I hate you.
A robot renegade cop.
You're fired.
You're fired.
No, you're actually fired.
I'm fired.
Get out of the booth, Jack.
No, I like it in here.
It's good to see you. I must go. I know I will go.
Hold him. Now you listen to me, you hillbilly punk who thinks the world's still round. I'm here to tell you it's not. It's flat.
He's an interesting guy, man, and he believes it. So, Kyrie, the Earth is flat, right? Yeah. So, whatever. That's news. That's news. Here we go.
You must unite what has been set asunder.
We are TFR, Truth Frequency Radio.
Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship, currently winning the war with the mainstream scientific community. Meanwhile, the peanut gallery is wondering about Curry. His apology states he was genuinely sorry for the reception his initial comments received. Is he saying he now believes the moon landing was real, or he is just sorry for how people reacted? It seems more like he was saying, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings when I called you stupid. I really thought you already knew. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman Show enclosed structure thousands of miles wide. Check it out at enclosedworld.com or just Google Flat Earth Clues. If you can't find it, well, you're not very good at the internet. For those of you listening to this on YouTube and you want to hear the show live as it happens, please go to Truth Frequency Radio for the latest schedule. Currently, this show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. And yes, Caroline, if it is not December 18th, 2018, you're listening to a rerun. Quote of the day from the Peanut Gallery goes exactly like this. Never apologize for showing your feelings. When you do, you are apologizing for the truth. And that's from Jose N. Harris, who Peanut Gallery will have to fill me in later on who that is. The Mark Sargent 2018 Flat Earth Challenge is in effect. This is my personal declaration of war from Flat Earth against mainstream science. I, Mark Sargent, hereby put forth a challenge to any university, foreign or domestic, to loan me a NASA-approved self-contained spacesuit, put me in a vacuum chamber, and pull the switch. For more information on this, please check out Flat Earth Clues Part 13, The Lost Nail. Announcements. Who has the announcements? I do. First off, don't forget to check out the National Geographic Explorer, which aired just about a week ago, Monday. It's out there, and it is banned. Remember, it's banned in the United States on YouTube. So you're gonna, if you guys want a copy of it and you have not watched it on, if you don't have cable and you don't have the ability to look up the channel National Geographic Explorer, please, by all means, email me. I've got a low-res version. It's running about 300 megs. I can send it to you through WeTransfer. That is not hard to do. And on a side note on the National Geographic thing, because I know I've seen people put in comments, they say, why didn't you do more rebuttal after the raft test that the debunking site, those guys were out there doing? And I have to remind people, it's like, come on, I spent 3 days with National Geographic. We shot hours and hours and hours of footage. However, they didn't want to use most of what I said because it made too much sense. And not only that, but we protested, there was a whole nother experiment that was done that the people in California remembered, but most of America never saw or never even heard about, which was the balloon test, which was on the complete other side of the Salton Sea at about 10 miles. They completely wiped that test off the map, meaning we were there. We spent the entire morning doing that test with them, and they removed that entirely. So yes, of course, I protested the raft stuff, and I talked for hours on end to these guys, and they came to me all the time. I mean, I was permanently wired with a microphone, and they weren't going to use really anything because remember, it's a science channel. That was the best they could do to try to do a hit piece on us. And hey, look, I'm glad that I got on at all. There were a whole bunch of people that were interviewed by National Geographic, and their footage was cut entirely. And then again, not to belabor the point, but I feel bad for Rob Skiba. You saw him in the footage walking around. They wouldn't even talk to him because they didn't want to. It's kind of hypocritical. They're a science channel, but they don't want to attack religion because they know the backlash they'll get. And talking to Rob Skiba, they didn't want to get any chapter and verse from him, so they just figured, we're just not going to talk to him at all. Interesting, huh? Let's see, what else? Behind the Curve, the documentary is just about wrapping up its film festival debut. And the film festival circuit, we did 21 film festivals in 7 countries. Very proud of them for that. And it was just announced. In fact, if you go to behindthecurvefilm.com, not only is it on Google Play and iTunes and Amazon, but now it's on YouTube. So now you have no excuse not to watch it. You can spend the $4, and I don't know if it's a rental or it's an outright purchase on YouTube. It might be an outright purchase, but for $4 you can watch it. And yes, I know the debunkers are going to watch it and then just start tearing us apart. But I don't know what the copyright thing. So whatever you do, don't download it to your machine and try to re-upload it. I don't think they'll strike you for it, but they'll probably block it. Just saying. And I haven't tried it for obvious reasons. All right. Before we take calls, and I see everybody there, and I will pick up 916 area code first, just wanted to read a quick article because the Stephen Curry thing has been a really interesting story. You know, we talked about it last week, and within a week, he has done I wasn't even going to say a complete 180, but this headline pretty much says it all. And it was sent to me by the Peanut Gallery out of all the articles that are out there. And it's from the UK, which I think is interesting. And it's from a publication which has done a whole bunch of stories on the flat earth. And so it's from the Myres. So you guys can look it up if you don't have to read along. I will read it for you, lazy people. It is from the mirror.co.uk, otherwise known as the Mirror. And the title is Steph Curry forced to back down over bizarre moon landing conspiracy theory. The Golden State Warriors superstar was called out for his comments and apologized to a former NASA astronaut. Now, the article's not very long. There's a lot of pictures in between, but I'll read it to you real quick. I'm sorry. Let me get about the phone number again. 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. And the old number works just fine. That's 720-897-6111. If you're in the UK, please dial the country code and then 44203-393-2871. And if you're calling just to listen, don't forget that number is 605-472-9131. Anyway, the article continues as such. Basketball star Steph Curry has been forced to back down over his bizarre and well-publicized moon landing conspiracy theory. The two-time NBA MVP made major headlines when he recently revealed on a podcast that he didn't believe astronauts had ever landed on the moon. He was hilariously trolled by the Sacramento Kings, who played clips of the moon landings when introducing Curry before his Golden State Warriors beat them 130-125 in a thrilling game earlier this week. I don't know, was that thrilling? The Golden State's predicted to win the whole thing, just so you know. And the 30-year-old, he's about 5 years older than Kyrie Irving, by the way, has now been put in his place and forced to apologize after an Instagram live chat with retired astronaut Scott Kelly. Kelly spent a record number of 520 days in spaceflight and discussed a number of topics with Curry, who responded by saying he was genuinely sorry for the reception his initial comments received. To quote, "When people believe flat Earth or moon landing conspiracies, they believe the other things that are more important, like climate change not being real or vaccines and 9/11 being a conspiracy theory," Kelly told Curry. Curry had already started backpedaling before his full-blown apology to Kelly. Obviously, I was joking when I was talking on the podcast, he told ESPN last week. Hopefully, people understand that education is power. Informing yourself is power. For kids out there that hang on every word that we say, which is important, understand that you should not believe something just because somebody says it. You should do your homework and understand what you actually believe. It is understood Curry is still keen to take NASA up on an invite to the Lunar Lab in Houston to look at moon rocks. Curry is not the first NBA superstar to make headlines for their controversial beliefs, with Kyrie Irving a vocal believer of the flat Earth theory. And that's the end of the article. Also want to mention that not only, and I don't have the tweet in front of me, but not only did Scott Kelly get into an Instagram back and forth with Stephen Curry, but also Barack Obama contacted him. And you guys can look that up, too, if you get a chance. Barack Obama was had contacted him. Now, we don't know what the conversation entailed. But Stephen Curry actually mentions, oh, yeah, by the way, you know it's kind of serious when Barack Obama calls you on it. And I know they knew each other beforehand. It wasn't a call out of the blue. They've done things together. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, Paul on the Plane, the show just before this one, was talking about a television commercial that Barack and Stephen shot together. So we're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about some other things. Yes, my opinion right off the bat is that, of course, they got to him. And tried to bend him in that direction. Now, I don't know, again, like the Peanut Gallery was saying, did he kind of hold fast? Kind of like what Kyrie Irving did when he was being interviewed by Forbes magazine just recently, when Kyrie apologized to the science professors who were just whining that they were having a hard time teaching their students, especially when people like Kyrie is talking about flat Earth. So, yeah. And yet the headlines, it's like, oh, Kyrie's backpedaling. It's like, no, he's not. You didn't even listen. The media is so lazy. They didn't even bother listening to the article. Anyway, that's about it for that. Let's go right to the phone calls. Let's pick up 916 first. 916, you are on with Strange World. What are we talking about?
Oh, see, I like the way that you answer. I told Jaron this last night, is he starts to talk as it tells us line muted, and then I sat there like a dweeb for 5-6 seconds of silence, and it was just embarrassing. But you do it much better. Jaron, take notes.
What?
Anyways, this is Michelle, Effie Mishka. Hi, Mark. How are you?
Hey, Mishka. I am well. How are you? I listened, by the way, for just a little bit. I was listening to Paul's show before this, so I knew that you called in. So what are you calling me about?
First of all, I like the Peanut Gallery's quote of the day. That was very nice. Don't hide from the feelings, hide from your... I have like my note, no hide from feelings, hiding from the truth. So, yes, that was a great quote.
Cool.
And then I have a quote. Mm-hmm. For you, the Peanut Gallery, Mark, and also the list of people I'm going to give off. That's number 4. But this goes to everybody listening in the TFR chat, Zulu One's chat. You guys know who I'm talking about. It says, a friend is someone who gives you total freedom to be yourself, and especially to feel or not feel. Whatever you happen to be feeling at any moment is fine with them. And that is by Jim Morrison.
Wow, that's pretty deep for Jim Morrison. Actually, fairly light, I should say, for Jim. That's neat.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I thought it was very appropriate because all of you guys just constantly thinking about both conferences is, that's what everybody allowed is just yourself with no judgment, and it's great. So thank you all for being awesome.
Oh.
Okay, that concludes number 2 on my list. Number 3 shout out, the biggest shout out ever, because he's been feeling a little hurt, Mr. Ace McLeod. Everybody go sub his channel right now because he's butthurt. But handsome Ace McLeod, here's the biggest shout out to you.
What's happening with Ace McLeod? What happened?
Nothing. He just wanted some shout outs. So, and I
because we're not giving him enough attaboys. Is that what's happening here? We're not giving enough pats on the back.
Yeah, everyone gets a trophy this round.
Participation trophy.
Yes, we gotta have it.
No, Ace is in a lot of stuff.
Okay,
he's a cool guy. I like Ace.
Yeah, he is, and I met him at the conference, and I thought of that quote especially because I had seen him in Glowbusters chat originally. I was I'm the biggest fan of Glowbusters ever, so I always saw Ace, and he had a wrench, and he'd say the weirdest stuff, and I'm like, who is this guy? And then I meet him at the conference, and I've always had a crush on Paul Rudd. And here is this guy who looks exactly like Paul Rudd, pretty much. Right. I'm like, oh, he's hot. And it's freaking Ace. And can you hear me? Sorry.
I can. No, yeah. So no, you were saying how you want to have sex with Ace McLeod. That's great. What else?
Yeah. If I was single, I would totally try. But yeah. So, and he turned out to be exactly that same person, but very kind, very funny. Oh, it was great. So he's a great person. Ace, you're awesome. There's your shout out.
Oh, that's awesome. Did you have something else on your list? Don't let me forget your quote, because the Peanut Gallery has a quote for you.
Okay. Let me go to what does he say about it, or she? What does she say about it?
He or she? Oh, come on. In fact, it could be artificial intelligence. We don't know exactly what the Peanut Gallery is.
We don't know.
Yeah, and if you follow British television, he could be like the Stig, if you know what the Stig is. All right, so the quote goes exactly like this: men occasionally stumble over the truth, but most of them pick themselves up and hurry off as if nothing happened. And that's from Winston Churchill.
Oh,
interesting.
I like that. Yeah, very relative.
Yeah. What else? What else you got?
Okay. Number 4. This is it. These are all my shout outs. Just because I love everyone. First shout out to you, Mark. You're awesome. Mark Sargent, you. And then second, and not just second, but just first, Karen B. I love you. And Paul on the plane. It was great talking to both of you. And then we got Mark Zulu 1, Ginger Sugarbush, Brian Burton, Bob, Cammie, Nora, Just Jack, Joshua Morgan, William, who wakes you 66. He was at the SAC meetup. I'm reading my notes. God. He's awesome. Caroline in the Hoary Sheet Show. Love you guys. Flat Plane, Oregon. Sousa, and last and very least, Wesley States in the Flat Earth News Talk.
Why did you have to bring him up? The list was going so well.
I love you, Wes. I'm just kidding.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Seriously. Why do you have to add him to the batting order? That's like it's like adding him to a softball team. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and Peanut Gallery says if you don't do it, if you say his name, he will appear.
Just like that. All right, Mark, I'm gonna let you go. Take
okay.
You have a good night.
All right, you too. See ya.
All right, bye.
Yep, that's F.E. Mishka. Flat Earth love. Can you feel it in the room? I can. All right. That being said, let's jump over to 864 area code. 864, you are on with Strange World. What are we doing?
Just Jack.
Hey,
we're not
just
doing
Jack.
Just Jack. This is Just Jack.
What's happening, man?
How's it going, Mark?
It's not bad. It's going to be a pretty good week. It's always a little weird during the holidays because I should mention I am going to be doing a show on Christmas Day. So next Tuesday is not going to be a rerun. I am going to go from Christmas dinner straight to here and continue on. So if you guys are full of whatever you eat during Christmas, I assume a lot of people are going to be eating ham. I will be doing the show. So what are you going to be doing next week?
Or if you don't keep the traditions of December, then you don't have to worry about it.
Well,
Anyway,
there's that too. Yeah.
So I listened to your interview today. That was pretty nice. I forget what's his name, Alon or
Eben.
something like that.
Ebon.
Ebon, yeah, something like that. But yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Guy, he lets you talk, which is always good. I know what that's like.
Yeah.
I like having time to talk. But yeah, I want to give a shout out to Chocolate Sand because I forgot to give him a shout out on Paul and the Plane Show, and 2 shout outs to Bob in case he misses the first one.
Cool.
But from Glowbusters.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't get much internet, so I can't watch the streaming of TFR, and I can't watch the satellite streaming on Zulu One's channel. So I called in to listen to Paul's, and I just stayed on mute the whole time, and then you were queued up, and I was still there, so that was great. I loved it.
Oh, is that why it
I don't
says?
even have to call
that's
in.
why it says 60. Yeah, it says that you were waiting 61 minutes. I was going, what are you talking about? I've only been on 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So how in the world are you waiting 60? It's carried over from. In fact, there's somebody that's carried. Also, there's 2 calls carried over from Paul's show into this one. There's one from New York right after yours that I'm going to be picking up. That they didn't get picked up by Paul. So great, I get Paul's leftovers. That's awesome. That's really great to know.
Yeah, I think I should just keep an extra line open just to keep live on TFR, and then be ready to go whenever anybody's ready to pick me up. So
nice.
But yeah, no, I love how you're always open to doing interviews with everybody, and once I get my internet up and running, I'm probably going to have you interview with me as well. So
cool. Yeah,
but,
I mean, I don't. I mean,
good to hear from you, and
as long as they're not dedicated trolls, I will do it. And I've only turned down a couple. I turned down Aaron Raw, and I also turned down the Non Sequitur show.
And the Non Sequitur.
Yeah, Non Sequitur show. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. You guys want to go into that hornet's nest? You can go right ahead. The Non Sequitur show, yeah, it's not a happy place. I'm sorry, just too much negative energy for me.
Well, I mean, the whole thing is they're not there to actually have a debate or have a conversation. They're just there to argue with you, period. I mean, it doesn't matter if they believe it or not,
Right.
But,
hey.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from.
By the way, the Peanut Gallery has a quote for you. Go figure. He just conjures these things up. It goes exactly like this. No human being will ever know the truth, for even if they happen to say it by chance, they would not even know they had done so. And that's from some dead Greek guy. Yeah. So.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they're all gold that he comes up with, but he comes up with some.
No, yeah, it kind of goes with what I was talking, earlier with Paul and the Plane. But again, you have to be there.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, you can mute me. Don't hang up on me.
I've
have a
only
question,
used the kill switch maybe like twice during my entire time. Once was because it was a troll, and once because it was a drunk guy that just kept calling, and anyway, it was just annoying. So, but yeah, I will mute you right now.
Are we talking about Wes or?
No, I haven't hung up on Wes
yet.
I've muted Wes. I have not hung up on Wes yet. We'll see.
Have you heard anything else about the Asheville, North Carolina meetup?
No, but I won't. I don't expect to either for a while, because remember, it's not going to happen till April. So if it was me and I was running it, I wouldn't do anything till January.
Yeah, I just wanted to know ahead of time because I want to be able to volunteer and help out set up.
Oh yeah. I will put you in touch with those guys. It's it should be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a fairly intimate affair. Remember, it's only going to be a 1-day thing. Of course, there's going to be stuff on the previous day, the night before, and then some VIP thing the morning after and stuff. But it's going to be the sessions are only going to be 1 day long. So there you go.
Yeah, but it's like right in my backyard, so it'd be really easy for me to come over and help out. So.
Oh, you absolutely should come over. I'm not promising that I'll sleep with you, but I'm just saying that you have a chance. All right, I'm going to put you on mute, and we'll talk soon. Okay.
All right, thanks, Mark.
Okay. Let's jump over to the other Paul leftover call with 3 minutes left. That's 585 area code. Okay, 585. You got 3 minutes. What do you got? Uh-oh. That's from Rochester, New York. 585. Are you listening? Are you okay? Is your mic muted, or are you just kind of listening in the background? That's what I think you're doing. All right. Give you 5 seconds. Otherwise, I'm putting you back on mute. You can stay there for another hour. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, you're on mute. All right, let's go to Dallas, Texas. We'll see if we can carry this one over. 214 area code. 214. I say Dallas because there's 214s. What's happening out there?
It's Scott from Dallas. How are you doing? And I heard your interview today. That was pretty good.
Thanks.
And it was kind of go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So anyhow, I was just calling because remember last week when Steph came out and I said, "Oh, you better put an egg timer on this one."
Yep.
So, and then I wake up the next morning and I see that he flipped, and I was like, "Yeah,
Yep.
They got to him." And the reason I was saying that they got to him because when you were bringing it up that night, and you said that NASA had already, spoken out and was getting in touch with him, I was like, "Oh yeah, he's already in deep state now."
Yeah.
So, he was compromised very quickly because he had to spill out. It was you could just see the writing on the wall because you guys are changing a lot of people's minds, and the influence that's coming around is becoming overwhelming. And then once these superstars, or whatever you want to call them, because I don't consider them a superstar, but they have a lot of influence and power, and so they're able to start changing the narrative and changing people's minds on just getting people to open up and think about things and even look into it and question it. And science can't handle it because it can't hold its own water. So that's one of its biggest problems right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I want to shift gears just for a second.
Okay, go ahead. Just to let you know, I'm going to carry you through the break on this one because we're gonna go to break in about 20 seconds, and then I'll pick you up on the other side of that as well. Just so you know.
Go ahead and take us out. Just take us out the break.
Okay, we'll do that, and then when we come back from the break, I will pick up, and I'll just rattle these off real quick in order. I'm just looking down the list here. We're going to go 214 again because there's back-to-back 214s, and then 281-561-360-530-845-910, and then whoever calls after that. So we'll be back in about 3 minutes, and I will put you on mute while we're doing this whole thing. There we go.
Hello, Colby. This is the White House. Ronald Reagan speaking. Hello, my old friend. How are you today? Finally, it's time for a daily chess match. Are you ready? Yes. My last move yesterday was a queen from
No hate, no hype, no fear. We are TFR, your protection from deception.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 2 of 4. It's a call-in show, and we were on the line with one of two from the 214 area code, and you were going to change gears, were you not?
Yes, I was. But before I shift gears real quick, let me just give you my impression of how that Steph Curry thing went down. I'm sure because he's the one who admitted that soon as he said that, he goes, oh, they're going to be after us now. So he knew he was already going to catch a bunch of stuff for this.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm sure as soon as when he got home, he got a phone call from wasn't from his agent neither. It was from somebody, probably a spook, saying, hey, Steph, you got two choices on this. You can either take the Joe Rogan effect, or you can get JFK'd, either politically or monetarily or however they want to do it. And he said, by the way, you're going to be getting a phone call from NASA, and you have very short time to make up your mind. So take your time, but hurry. And then that guy hangs up, and immediately his phone rings, and he says, hey, Steph, this is blah, blah from NASA. How are you doing? You could just see his whole face drain.
Probably.
Because it was instantaneous.
Yep.
Instantaneous.
I
Now,
hear
to shift gears, I was listening to Mike Morales has a channel up. It's above ground world news, and he had a couple of callers on there that was really interesting. So anybody who goes back to yesterday's show, you can pick them up. But the second caller he had on was some lady that was here in Dallas, and she was really burned out on all these chemtrails and everything. But she did something that was kind of unique, and I haven't done it yet, but anybody out there listening, y'all can check into this too. She typed in the departing flights and returning flights at DFW and found the same flights were departing and returning at the same airport. So she was trying to, equate that to the chemtrails and stuff that are going on, or atmosphere spraining. Yeah. So that's something that, she was really triggered over. I mean, she was freaking out. She's like, why are flights returning back to DFW that are departing from DFW? That don't make no sense.
Interesting.
So that was one thing.
Okay.
I know. And then the last thing is, all these scientists and everybody that's atheist and all this stuff and agnostic, and they do not believe in the flat earth because they have no spirituality. And it was like that lady that you were talking to on that podcast, that you posted up today. She was a self-admitted atheist and just couldn't wrap her head around it, and that's with a lot of all these people, even some of my friends that can't, refuse. And in fact, we'll just get into a flat out fight over it. And, but they're atheists. And I said, look, you're not Christian. You and I we can't equate, it just don't work, because you just don't have the belief. And I believe, I don't even like the word believe because it has lie in the middle. But in my opinion, the whole planet needs to go through a planetary spiritual reboot. And that is going to be what's going to help save us all, because then you're going to be able to be more independent, stand on your own, and not waver and have to cave and crater to the monetary things like Steph Curry did, or any of these people, because they're scared to lose it, but you can't take it with you when you die. Right. And so with that, good night and God bless.
Thank you, man. We'll talk soon. All right, so let's jump over to the other 214 area code. These guys probably right down the street from each other. 214, you are on with Strange World and me. What are we talking about?
Hi, Mark, Jan, and Dallas. My birthday is this weekend, and I was wondering if you would wish me happy birthday in your Russian accent.
Jan and Dallas, I don't know what to say other than you sound like you're about 29 years old. And and happy birthday to you. I'd like to sing birthday song, but it's probably part of some American capitalist program. And so, how's that?
Oh, that was great, Mark. Thank you.
Cool.
And also, I love it when you do your Russian accent. And may I give a Merry Christmas shout out?
Yeah, whoever you want.
Oh,
go ahead.
Oh, okay. I would like to send best wishes to our military and their families, and to their commander-in-chief, and to your family, to you and your family, and Mr. Peanut Gallery and his family, and all the listeners who celebrate this wonderful Christmas time.
Oh, well, that's awfully nice. You are got to be the most positive person that ever calls into this show ever. It's just wonderful. And your voicemails, I listened to your voicemails like 2 or 3 times before I finally archive them. Because I was like, man, no matter what sort of mood I'm in, Jan's voicemails could lighten my spirits.
Oh, that's so sweet of you to say. I will cherish that. And some of my friends may not quite agree with you, so I'll be sure and play this for them so they'll hear it too. And I think it's so wonderful that you're going to be there Christmas Day. Christmas evening. I'll be sure to listen. Yeah, that's great. So, well, my best to all, and you take care and stay flat.
Oh, wait. Before you go, Peanut Gallery says, because you wished him a Merry Christmas. In fact, I will do this in Russian accent for you. Soon you will start a new year of your life, and I hope that this coming year brings you all the success you deserve. Happy birthday. There you go.
Oh, that was a special thank you very much, Mr. Peanut Gallery.
Yeah.
So, well, I think my cheeks are all red right now, so I think I'll hang up.
All right. You have a good evening. We'll talk soon, okay?
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. All right, let's jump right over to 281 area code. 281, you're on with Strange World.
Mark Sargent, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, what's going on?
Man, not much. Long time. It's been a minute since I've gotten on here, but I've been catching up with your flat Earth clues. I caught your most recent one, and I just admire how smoothly you just go through the interviews and just deal with everybody. You know, like I say, you eat, sleep, and craft that flat Earth. So I mean, it is what it is.
I do. I absolutely do. I'm 24/7 flat Earth now.
Yeah, it just goes through you, man. Jeez. Yeah. But yeah, I had a few things I wanted to just touch on or whatever. You know,
sure.
I'm a substitute teacher, and here in one of the districts out here in Houston. And it's funny. Last week, I was substituting for science, and we had to give a few lessons and worksheets or whatever, and they were dealing with space and galaxies, to where I took my class over to the next class to where they had to watch some video on YouTube, and it dealt with galaxies. We're in a spiral galaxy, an elliptical galaxy, and that was kind of tough to deal with, knowing what I know now. Yeah. But it's funny how a lot of those kids are waking up. These 6th and 7th and 8th graders, you know, they're questioning, space at all. You know, one kid asked the teacher, you know, I don't believe in the moon landings or whatnot. And a couple of kids even brought up flat Earth. So, I mean, you know, it's kind of amazing to me. But you got to know your audience. I got to keep my job, most definitely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm in the flat club. So.
Well, I'm glad you're with us, man.
Oh, yeah. Been with you guys, man. Been following up and, you know, just catching up on the interviews or whatnot. So when are you going to make your way back to Houston? Since, NASA's coming with these moon rocks for Steph Curry to come.
Oh, whatever. Well, you know, by the way, did you know? I don't know if you saw it in the documentary Behind the Curve. I was actually at the Houston Space Center with Patricia Steer. We actually got filmed inside there.
Yep, I saw it. So, oh, really? Okay, I haven't seen Behind the Curve yet.
Oh, yeah, you should watch it just for that.
Go ahead, check it out.
We were walking around there, poking fun at just about everything we could.
I saw the episode where you guys did go there, but I didn't see it in Behind the Curve. But
yeah. Well, it was shot a little different. That when Patricia was filming us in front of the big Saturn V rocket, that was a little different. The documentary team shot us in multiple places. Anyway, it's pretty cool. But yeah, I'll get down to Houston again eventually, because you know that sooner or later NASA's going to invite me down there, and then we'll see what's what.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, if you come down there, I'll definitely have to come see you, man.
Okay.
Most definitely. So,
all right.
That's about 30, 40 miles from where I live. I'm on the north side. Just quick thing. What did you think about this Mars landing or whatever? I haven't heard you say too much about it.
To quote the
Mars landing.
Yeah. To quote the British, it is utter rubbish. It is absolutely trash. It's just another space drumbeat. That's all it is. You know, every story that NASA releases, whether it's the face on Mars, the hexagon on Saturn, we're reclassifying Pluto. Oh, look, something hit Jupiter. It's all the same thing, which is you're on a globe And all you have to do is read the headline and maybe glance at the computer, the CGI graphic we put up, and it reinforces that you're on a globe.
Yeah.
That's all they care about.
Reinforcing that we're on the globe.
Yeah.
Yeah, the flat Earth movement's getting much bigger.
Absolutely, it is.
I mean, I went to your app. Well, it's not really your app or whatever, the Flat Earth app, and I pulled it up and it says "Gone Fishing."
Nice. Yeah,
that's what it says on the Flat Earth app where I put up the interview. It says "Gone Fishing." I'm like, okay, and now I gotta go through YouTube or Google to catch your video.
Unfortunately, somebody's gonna have to make me a new app because that app's a couple years old, and I never even installed it on my phone. Somebody just called me up and says, "Hey, can I use you for an app?" And I said, "Okay, sure, why not?" And they made one, but I'm sure a lot of the links are broken at this point. Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway.
Okay. Well, that's all I really had, man.
All right, man.
I'm just going to continue to listen, and it's good to hear from you, and I'll see you around.
All right. Talk to you soon. Yeah.
All right. Yes, sir. Talk to you soon.
Okay. Let's jump over to 561 area code. 561, you're on with Strange World. We're talking Flat Earth. What's up?
Hey, Mark from South Florida, close to Mar-a-Lago, actually.
Ah, right on. Is that near Delray Beach?
It is very near, yeah.
Yeah, that's where we're sending the drones. Just so you know, I wouldn't go anywhere if I were you. So what are we talking about this evening?
Oh, so first of all, I just flat smacked somebody with a NASA T-shirt on. I got flyers from Nathan Thompson, who does the Facebook group, the official Flat Earth and Globe discussion.
Yep, I've met Nathan a couple times.
They're really awesome flyers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if anyone out there wants to get like little flyers that has like top 10 proofs of Flat Earth, reach out to him because I just got them, and I just slipped this girl with a NASA T-shirt on a flyer.
Cool. Yeah, anybody that wears a NASA T-shirt, they basically have a target on their chest. I came to imagine. I know that the NASA's doing their best to sell them in Target and Walmart and all their places, and they're selling them dirt cheap.
Yeah.
But if anyone that wears a NASA T-shirt around, I mean, you want to know who the flat earthers are? Yeah, just follow a NASA T-shirt guy and look for the people that they're thinking about hunting them down, because that's what everybody wants to do is grab one of those guys.
Yeah, and they're everywhere, the NASA T-shirts. Maybe I'm just noticing it because I'm into Flat Earth now, but I mean, I just see everywhere I go, I see someone wearing a NASA T-shirt.
Right.
But I wanted to ask what your thoughts were on the Virgin. I don't know if you touched on it, but the Virgin Galactic. Like it was like a 1-minute video they showed, and it was. I mean, I thought it was just ridiculous. Like they cut to like CGI once it got high enough, and then it was Richard Branson crying.
Right. Yeah, Richard Branson. Yeah, because now he can rival SpaceX. Right. That's the big competition between billionaires. I have a couple opinions on it. One, Virgin Galactic is never going to be replacing SpaceX. It's just a stunt. It's a billionaire stunt. No, fine. If the plane did make it to 50 miles on the rocket booster, big deal. We've got amateur rockets that have gone upwards of 70 miles. The famous one that supposedly hit something, at 73 miles or something like that. This didn't even get that high. But technically, science says it qualifies for kind of skirting the edge of space. So they can sell it as a space flight. And it's like, really? So you get up at 50 miles and it's only 250,000 feet. And I mean, it's a lot, sure, but it's not like it's not a space shuttle, right? It's just a plane with a rocket motor on it. And they've had a couple, they killed a guy during one of the tests, I think like 2 years ago when they were trying to work on this thing. This test was a big deal for them because they flew it and nobody died. That was the big thing. Now, I don't think they're going to be selling a lot of tickets for this, given their track record. But yeah, it's just a stunt, nothing more. It's like, yeah, fine. You went up 50 miles in a plane. Whoopee, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You can't see me twirling my finger right now, but that's really what it is. Like, all right, fine. Richard Branson needs something this late in the game for his life. He was the guy that flew in those high altitude balloons. for long distances, and he did all the cool stuff. Basically, billionaires with an imagination. He did all that fun stuff, but yeah, Virgin Galactic's not going to do anything. It's not the military's not going to pick them up as a subcontractor like it did with SpaceX. So that's
gotcha. I don't even. Yeah.
It's a good. It's a when you run a story like that, then you can ask Richard afterwards, and I'm sure they did. I did not read it. It's like, oh, what do you see the future of spaceflight being? Elon Musk, his quote was, "Oh, well, there's a 70% chance I'm going to retire on Mars." Like, really? Now, Richard Branson, I think, would be a lot more reserved. Being that he's in his 70s now, to where he'd be, it's like, oh yeah, well, we're going to work on some stuff and maybe sell a few tickets, but I don't think his goals are nearly as lofty as Elon Musk.
Appreciate it. And,
all right.
Stay flat.
All right. Talk to you soon. All right. Let's jump over to 360 area code. 360, you're on with Strange World. What are we talking about?
You remember the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere?
The British are coming? Sure.
Yeah.
One if by land,
how you
two
doing?
if by sea, that whole thing?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, a little.
Yeah.
I do know a few things about America, sure.
Yeah. So I'll start out on a serious note. Let's just remind people to be downloading and sharing all your information so that, when, not if, but when the internet does get shut down, we all have a way to get a hold of each other too,
Oh yeah. I don't know if they're going to shut down the internet anytime soon though, because remember, it took them a long time to build up the basic backbone, and they get high-speed internet, and then get mobile devices, and then high-speed wireless, and social networking, all working, all interconnected. So it wouldn't behoove them to shut it down if they could.
Don't get me wrong. Okay, what I meant was the actual free exchange of information that's against the interest of the people that
you mean the bad videos?
Control the internet.
Right. Well, they've been working on some of that already with the whole false flags. I mean, again, a word to the wise out there. If you're thinking of putting up a false flag video on your channel, weigh your options really carefully and think about creating a backup channel to put it up on. Because YouTube is under congressional scrutiny now, and they take that a lot more seriously than they used to. Flat Earth is still a moneymaker for them, so they're not messing with us.
Yeah.
But everything else, they're keeping a good eye on.
Yeah. Well, I have a small channel, and I saw that was very clear that I did do a couple of those things, and then everything flatlined all at once.
Oh wow.
Until I got back on YouTube Red for something or whatever, but it just flatlined after I published something about one of those strange, FEMA operations.
Yep.
So
yeah, you got to be careful.
Right.
They're not. Again, when Congress pulls YouTube into a hearing, you really got to take notice, because if Congress says, "Look, you got to tone this down," YouTube is basically this unrestricted, and everyone, they're all for free speech. But there's, when you're inciting, there's that gray line where you're inciting people to riot and do things, which is why I don't ever encourage people to. I was getting a little nervous when some of our people were tearing up science books, because I'm not saying tearing up science books. I'm not saying that, but anyway.
Yeah, no, I think your approach is very reasonable, and you hear people go, "Well, you need to get more." Generally, they don't. Some of the people are. You got to be way out there, or you're not a truther.
Oh yeah,
but
you got to be extreme.
The point that you've made, but the point that you made, which is a great one that you made since the beginning, and I picked up on it, is you make the most headway probably by not appearing quite that far out.
Right.
Number one, and number two, you only hurt yourself if you get hanging out there too much. And it's tempting, with these California fires, there's a lot of good info, but you gotta, here's what you said. and this is what I remember for 3 years now.
What?
If you are able to uncover and spread the word about the mother of all, secrets,
right?
That we don't live on a ball,
right?
Then that will undermine all the other conspiracies overnight. The other true conspiracies, I mean.
Right. Yeah, you'll revisit.
Yeah, so I'm with you on that.
Yeah, you'll revisit every conspiracy you ever worked on in your life once you get into flat Earth. You become open-minded, and I've seen that where people, it's like, oh yeah, they get their head around flat Earth, and then a few people, and it's going to happen. People will all of a sudden turn back. It's like, oh, I want to talk about 9/11 again, or I want to talk about vaccinations or JFK or whatever. It's like, yeah, it's fine, that's fine and all, but don't make that the biggest of all conspiracies. There's this one troll in particular, I remember, who he believes that 9/11 is the ultimate conspiracy, and flat Earth is an insult to 9/11 because 9/11 is real, right? And flat Earth is more of a concept. And
I saw that. Yeah, I was involved. In that's how I was awoke when I found out about 9/11 in Australia. But yeah, exactly. They take that as an insult.
Yeah.
To truthism.
Yeah.
These guys that haven't looked into
look, flat Earth is bigger than everything, with the exception of the existence of God, and even then, it's right. It's hand in hand.
Which is what it immediately leads to.
Yeah, it leads right to it. So don't tell me, don't tell me that JFK is the biggest thing ever. And I know people love to bring up 9/11. It's like, no, man, the tower's falling. And it's like, really? Because that was an American conspiracy. There are still people in other countries right now that have never even heard of it. Now, granted, they're probably.
Well, yeah, I know most people in other countries, don't believe the
narrative
official story on that either. So
exactly.
Right. Yeah, I like that. So, hey, that reminds me. I was when I was following I haven't followed I don't do this anymore, but I used to follow, some of the numbers on YouTube, and I figured that when you were starting to get hammered by the powers that be was especially when you got around in the 40s, or did you get to the 60s and then back to the 40s because you got hammered on that one deal or something, but you got stuck there. But now I want to congratulate because you hit 70. You got over that key mark.
Yeah.
All the Illuminati Mason numbers, you got over them now.
Yeah,
70,
yes. Yeah. Again, I don't think I'm even cracked in the top 10 of the Flat Earth channels that are out there in terms of subscribers. Most of my hits and subs are on other channels that took my clues, just random people, and put my clues out on their own channels because I said, oh yeah, Creative Commons license, go for it, have fun with it. Not knowing that, oh yeah, all you have to do is rename it something like They Are Hiding God Was Greatest Lie Ever, or Biggest Lie Ever, or Under the Dome full documentary, and you can get 2, 3, 5 million hits.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, seriously?
Right. No, so I think that's the way they hit you. You were hit that way. So, DeBay will say that, that because you didn't get, red tagged and taken off like he says he was, that means you're kind of not one of the good guys. Or something. And, I say the opposite. I think you're more sophisticated, and he got taken off because he made some mistakes that I'm not I shouldn't say they're mistakes, but he went after subjects he can't go after without getting immediately tagged.
Yeah, exactly. I do not preach anti-Semitism, but let's make no mistake here. If I made a video,
went straight for it.
Yeah, if I made a video that said, "Oh yeah, by the way, I don't like all Jewish people," oh yeah, you bet my channel would be flagged in 2 seconds. It's just that I didn't do that, and I don't do that for anybody. Flat Earth, I will. You've heard me say it, and by the way, we've got about 60 seconds to the break. Which is because of Flat Earth, I will never say or do anything malicious to anyone ever again. I can't. Not if I believe in Flat Earth. If we're in Flat Earth, then we're all a part of the same system. We're part of the same family. And there should be none of that going on.
And that's an interesting result that came from your discovery, because that's the way Jesus would say, we should be.
There you go.
So I'm not saying you're Jesus.
Well, yeah, don't do
start
that. Man. Don't do that.
But you know what I mean? That's probably the message, right? That's one of his key messages.
You got 15 seconds till we're going to the music.
Yeah.
So, what do you? Anyone you want to say hi to?
All the Washingtonians, and we got to get together again. So take care now, and the Bally people. Yeah, take care.
Right on. All right, talk to you soon, man.
Thanks.
And we'll be back, guys, in about 3 minutes. So don't go anywhere.
Censorship and regulation is becoming an ever-growing.
Wherever you are, make it Truth Frequency Radio.
Major Kong. Major Kong. Primary target the ICBM complex at Laputa. Switch all receiver circuits to CRM discriminators. What's cooking on the threat board? Nothing. Alright, tell you what you better do, buddy. You better give Elmo and Charlie a flash, man. Bump everything up to condition written. Stand by the moron. Major Kong. Major Kong. Hey, what about Major Kong?
Clear and plain and coming through fine.
What about
It's great to be fine.
What about Major
What's happened? You see the string in my leg scar.
What about Major
I never told you.
Hey, what about Major Kong?
Welcome back to Strange World, part 3 of 4. It is a call-in show. I'm going to give out the numbers real quick. First one is going to be 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. And, of course, the old number works fine, which is 720-897-6111. I was going to pick up 530 area code first, but I'm going to make them second. The first one I'm going to pick up is going to be 845 area code. And you know I got to do it, don't you? Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it.
New York, New York.
There you go.
With my vagabond shoes.
Yeah.
They're
longing to
I love
stray.
it. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you, man? What's happening in New York?
Lovely. Lovely. It's brisk, 23 degrees out, crystal clear. You can see the moon.
Cool.
Hanging. That's all right. Today was okay, good at work. It was fairly easy, not too crazy, not too stressful.
Yeah.
So it wasn't bad. How about you? Crazy, hectic?
Not that bad. I mean, the holidays are coming up, but I don't have any nieces or nephews. None of my cousins or my sister had kids, including me. So I'm kind of holidays have gotten smaller and smaller over the last 10 years, which is not
nice. So I guess you have to buy yourself something nice for Christmas.
Yeah, pretty much. I have a quote for you from the Peanut Gallery. It goes exactly like this: all generalizations are false, including this one. Wow. No, and that's from Mark Twain, which is actually kind of a takeoff of, that's a famous devil quote, which is, don't believe anything I say, including this. So,
yeah.
Anyway,
definitely.
what's
Well, we surmised there's like 30 Mark Twains, that it really wasn't just one man that said all those things, because there are just so many brilliant comments by Mark Twain. It's crazy. Well, even though it's Samuel Clemens, but
he was memorable because there weren't a lot of people doing what he did back then. He was way ahead of the game. Because remember, this was a long time ago, And there was just not a lot of humorists, especially American humorists. He was like one of the first of his genre. I mean, think about, like, for example, all the great comedians that we had growing up. We hit this kind of this peak wave where all of a sudden you had just a small group of guys making albums, like comedy albums. People, young kids out there, you forget when people actually made comedy albums, like Steve Martin and Richard Pryor and Bill Cosby, right? Those guys. And to a lesser degree, well, Cheech and Chong, but people that would go on stage, and record their sessions. And then later you had, like in the 80s, you had Robin Williams and Eddie Murphy, guys that would go on tour and fill freaking arenas type of thing. And then after that, it's just massive explosion, and now there's comedy clubs everywhere and everybody's doing their own thing. But so, yes, Peanut Gallery says, George Carlin. I go, yes, I know George Carlin. George Carlin was one of those guys. He just got better every year until he died. His stuff in his 60s wasn't nearly as good as the stuff in the 2000s, in my opinion.
No. And I think, honestly, it's because he probably did less drugs and was a little more coherent, because he said he did. He said he went into things and they just put coke on the table and they did drugs. It was like, holy crap.
Oh, yeah. The 60s and 70s were just a blur to most people from what I read.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. So what's on your mind?
Not much. I'm an idiot. I should have done what Mishka did.
What?
And wrote down my notes, because I had some good things to say and then forgot now.
Well, is it a topic? Do you want me to try to remind you?
Well, I was just mad about this Mars thing that they keep pushing the rover and him. I don't.
Stefan,
the basketball player. What's his Stefan?
Yeah.
I don't think he actually said that he doesn't believe in it, because he was kind of stumbling through. When you listen to the actual feed, not what the media says.
Right.
And he was kind of stumbling through it, trying to backpedal, but I think he didn't think he was going to get the flack he did. Is what I don't know. Unless
he was looking for a fight. I mean, come on. He can't look. He's friends with Kyrie Irving, right? And you got to remember who was one of his teammates was Draymond Green, and Draymond was totally on board. Once Kyrie came out, Draymond's like, oh yeah. I mean, and Draymond's playing with Stefan every freaking day. They're teammates.
Yeah.
They're passing the ball to each other. So Stefan knew what was going to happen. I think he was just, I don't know, maybe he was bored. Maybe, he's already, won a couple titles. He's been the MVP twice. The NBA MVP twice. Right. He's considered one of the top 5 basketball players in the world right now, whereas Kyrie would be one of the top 10. But it's okay. Again, the headlines are still swirling. And I love the fact that people talk about it, because, again, it's easy. If you're an athlete out there, if you're listening to this right now, if you're an athlete, you want to generate some buzz, do this. Talk about one of these two things. Talk about either flat Earth or the moon landing. Oh, I got to chime in with this. Here's the difference between Stefan and why the press was really going to town. The difference between Kyrie and Stefan is because, remember, flat Earth is pretty generic, right? Flat Earth is so big that it's pretty crazy. But if you go after the moon landing, well, that's just anti-patriotic. That's anti-American.
Absolutely. You are anti-American.
Anti-American. And I knew this because when Fox did that clip that I played from Fox the 5, when they asked, I can't remember the blonde woman's name, but when she comes on, her statement went like this. She goes, I believe in the moon landing. And her very next sentence was very telling, which was, I'm a patriot. And it's like, okay, so whatever the government puts out, no matter what it is, no matter how crazy, you have to believe it because you're a patriot. And if you don't, you're anti-patriotic. Yeah. So that's why people were going after him, because like, oh, moon landing, why don't you burn the American flag while you're at it?
Yeah, I mean, and it's so contradictory because the next thing they'll say, oh, no, I don't trust the government when it comes to taxes and chem spraying and this and that. But you're unpatriotic if you question it. Right. Forget about it if you believe it, if you even question it.
By the way, and Peanut Gallery corrected me in this. I forgot. The blonde woman in that Fox News clip, her name's Dana. She was actually the press secretary for George Bush.
Interesting.
At one point, she must have been pretty young when she was the press secretary, because she doesn't look
They're
that
all
old now.
connected. They all know.
Yeah. So, but anyway, she's a patriot. So, and whatever, Stefan. He can generate headlines all he wants, and the Mars probe. I don't care until you start talking about putting people past the Van Allen belts, which they have not done in 50 years. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it until you tell me. In fact, I was thinking about that. If I ever have the chance to meet Scott Kelly, one of the first things I'm going to ask him literally is, why aren't you on the moon right now? Seriously, why aren't you and your cohorts on the moon right this second? And watch him stumble through that, to which you'd be like, we don't have, make up the usual excuse. It's like, no. You should be there. There should be a moon base alpha right now, and you should be in it.
Absolutely. Space 1999. That's all I got to say.
Space 1999. People, again, we talked about this before. People forget. Look up that television show, Space 1999. That show was done in the 70s. When literally in the mid 70s, and a lot of science fiction stole from.
Do you remember the show UFO? Do you remember that?
Yeah,
UFO?
Yeah, that was a late 60s show.
That's even older.
That's even older.
And there was crap on the moon.
Yep.
Yeah, and they were doing stuff on the moon. Ridiculous.
Yep.
Ridiculous.
Yep.
Hey, I have something since Laverne died today. Penny Marshall.
Penny Marshall, yeah.
And I thought and I was looking at just stuff, and I thought this was kind of interesting because, well, I'll explain. Let me see. Oh, sorry. Oh, here we go. Sorry.
Yes.
Phone turned off. Laverne, I'm telling you, flying is safer than driving. Nobody has ever crashed into a cloud. Laverne says. Nobody ever fell 40,000 feet from a DeSoto either. And what I liked about that, I thought it was funny, but what I liked about it was that it's perspective. Everybody has their own point of view, and we just have to acknowledge that. Because we talk about all the information, we share it, and some of it we don't agree with, but we're civil, and I just can't stress that enough, because people, unfortunately, are still kind of a-hole-ish about it, I mean, it's
you are going to get
ridiculous.
quite a.
I don't know why they get so standoffish.
Well, again, conditioning is conditioning. Don't forget why I don't get mad. I don't care how hot the internet gets, unless you're just totally outright mocking me, or being rude.
Right,
I lost it only one time, and that was against Mark D'Antonio, because you could hear people because he was doing the interview from a cocktail bar. And he had people behind him.
Yeah,
laughing.
that was douchey, that whole thing.
Yeah, and I really wanted to reach through the monitor and strangle him. But for the most part, people remember, we were them. We were on that side of the fence.
I know.
Everybody was on that side of the fence.
That's why I call you to vent, and you help me.
I try.
People are dummy.
Everybody will turn eventually. I'm not worried. Even the physicists that work
I don't even care if they do or they don't. You can be civil.
Exactly.
Be civil.
Yeah. But again, it's the conditioning. And that is, what I said in the very first clue, which was, I know people that believe wholeheartedly that the entire royal family is made up of lizards. And I mean, literally, they would bet folding money on it. And then you tell them, oh, yeah, by the way, the earth is flat, too. And they go, get out of here. Then they'd walk away from you laughing. It's like
that's crazy.
Yeah. That's the type of conditioning. And again, if you guys think I'm kidding, watch any television show, whatever you're watching nowadays. I don't care if it's on Netflix, if you're binge watching, or it's in the movies. See if you'll notice. Watch how many different shows have a globe in the room for no apparent reason. The globes will be there in rooms that don't even make sense. There'll be just an obscure globe sitting somewhere. It's amazing.
Right. It's like, why is there a globe in the Dunkin' Donuts scene?
Yeah. Why is there a globe in that detective's office? Why is there a globe in that doctor's office?
Yeah.
Why is there? I mean, they're not talking like high-end antique globes. They're like sitting usually on top of a cabinet somewhere, just off of frame. And it's like, what are they doing there? It's like, oh, I get it.
Man.
I got it. Anyway, I hate to do
you're
this to you,
absolutely
man,
right.
but I got a whole bunch of calls I still got to grab.
All right.
Any shout-outs?
Absolutely. Love you, brother. Keep it up. Shout out to everybody.
Okay.
If anyone would like to join us Thursday night on my channel, Zulu One, we do Night School.
Rumor has it I'm going to be on that one.
Yes, I was supposed to say before you said that we were going to have this strange guy on our show that believes in some crazy stuff.
Oh, okay.
On Thursday night, this Thursday, which will be Mark.
I will absolutely be there.
It'll be good.
Cool, man.
Yes. Stop by.
Right.
I think everybody will enjoy it. Alrighty. Bye-bye. Love you.
See
Keep up the good work, brother.
Thanks, man.
Bye.
All right, let's jump back to now 530. 530, I am sorry you had to wait for as long as you did, but now you are on talking live.
That's quite all right, Mark. This is William. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm great, but this is nowhere near as long as I've had to wait from my bank on hold, so it's not bad.
Yeah, that's bad.
So, yeah, no, this wasn't so bad, and I'd rather listen to this than that elevator music, right?
Yeah.
So, Mark's a cool cat, ain't he?
Mark's great. Mark's great.
I know. I like his perspective on perspective.
Yeah.
I appreciate that quite a bit. One time I went to New York when I was TDY to Fort Dix, New Jersey for level 2 training, air base ground defense.
Mm-hmm.
And we drove up there. I think it was about an hour and a half, 2 hours to get there. And had all these thoughts of how bad New York was going to be, brought my cop friend with me, and he looked like a cop, figured we'd be good to go. I was so surprised how nice everybody was. It just blew me away. I didn't drive there. I almost went into Queens, turned around and parked my car. But, man, that was a good time there. So
Nice.
I really liked that. That was pretty good. I wish I could go back one day.
Awesome.
And speaking of that, I got to tell you something, Mark. So in my past, I love to karaoke. And it's funny you guys do New York, but I have to say a tie between that and Stray Cat Strut and what's that other one I always did? Friends in Low Places were the 3 songs I probably did the most.
Really?
In karaoke bars. And so, yeah. So that was pretty funny you guys do that when you guys call and whatnot. So I just wanted to just say, first, Mark, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Well, a week from now, right? And then I wanted to do a shout out to some of the people that I've been listening to and watching for 3 years now. Rob Skiba, the Globebusters. It was great to see Patricia again. You, of course, and Nathan Roberts. And I have to give a shout out to Mishka. She was the one I met at the Sacramento meetup, and so I just wanted to let her know one thing. Yes, that is my profile picture on Facebook. So she asked if that was me. She actually asked, "Is that a picture of somebody else?" And I'm like, "No, that was just me as a young man. And it went 32 years ago."
Cool.
So yeah, that's me. So I just that was really nice of her to give me a shout out. So I wanted to give her a shout out right back. And other than that, I think that was it, Mark. I don't want to stay on here too long. You got a lot of calls. Oh, one thing. Do you remember? Yes. Do you remember the show Salvage One?
Yeah. Why? I didn't. I
Okay,
was not.
so
I was not a huge fan of it, but and it's an obscure reference, and not a lot of people watched it. But yes, I do know of it.
No. And if I remember right, the guy from was in it.
Andy
Barney
Griffith.
Fife, the sheriff. Andy Griffith was in it.
Andy
wasn't
Griffith. Yeah, not Barney Fife, but Andy Griffith. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I couldn't think of Andy Griffith.
That's okay. No, it's okay. And
That
yeah,
name
an
wasn't
interesting
coming.
thought about people. A private guy. This is back before billionaires. That salvaged parts to make his own moon mission rocket.
Yep, and I remember the cone of the rocket was a cement truck tank. Remember the?
Yeah,
thing
they
you
do not
keep
they do
the
not
cement in
show
a
that a
cement
lot. for probably deliberate reasons. Which is like they don't want to encourage private people to make their own moon rocket.
Yeah. All right. Well, Mark, thank you. God bless you as always. And you keep doing what you're doing. I'll keep doing what I'm doing. And we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Talk to you soon, man. Thank you for calling. All right. Let's jump over to 910 area code. 910, you're on with Strange World. What is crack-a-lackin'?
What's up, Mark?
Not much.
So, I was thinking about these chemtrails, man. I was thinking how to repel this aluminum.
Okay.
So I'm looking on the internet, and I'm looking on how to repel aluminum.
Okay.
Guess what I find?
I don't know. What did you find?
Guess what I find?
What?
Electromagnetism.
To repel aluminum.
It will repel. It will actually make it jump off. Like, yeah.
Interesting.
Like I'm watching this guy. He's juicing up this, electromagnet, and he's making this aluminum disc-shaped things just jump. So like a foot. So I'm thinking about that, and I'm thinking about the 5G.
Right. A lot of people are thinking about 5G.
Because I was thinking if I could repel the aluminum, I could see it move, and I could show people. And that's why I was looking into that. I think people need to do a lot more thinking and try to, come up with theories and things we can prove. I don't know about the lizard people, man, but I will say this, and I've always said, once we find the half horse, half man, or half goat, half man, they will say, "See, evolution's true." And so I'm thinking about
link. Yeah.
I'm thinking about the Antarctic tree and all these guys down there. Wouldn't that be a perfect specimen to get for semen or DNA? I mean, it'd be preserved pretty well, right?
I think you're correct. Yes, that would be a good place to look. God's freezer, as it were. Yeah.
I think, and I got a prediction, man.
Yeah.
I think temperature is going to be the next biggest thing in flat Earth to prove flat Earth.
I like it.
Temperature is going to do a lot for us.
Okay.
Guys, please start using your noggin. Think. So, yeah, man, I think that's the next biggest thing.
Cool.
All right, bro.
Is that it?
Thank you.
All right. You have a good night.
Yeah, man.
All right. I'll see you.
All right, bro.
Okay, let's jump over to 651 area code. 651, you're on with Strange World right now. What's happening?
Broadcasting to you from a spaceship high above Minnesota, the land of 1,000 lakes. This is Wesley Stason, Flat Earth News Talk. Wait for it. Go.
Wes, how do you keep getting through all my security measures? I actually bought special virus protection software, which has an anti-Wes setting on it in preferences. And
perfect.
Apparently, it is not working.
It's not working.
I don't know how you got through it, but that's all right. And hey, what do you know? You still got 3 minutes and change. You're not going to be cut short this time.
Okay,
so what? What's up?
Got to do a quick shout out, and I'm starting it, guys. So y'all can pitch right in right after this.
What?
Shout out to Ace McLeod. That's right, Ace McLeod. Awesome dude, Ace McLeod.
I hear
Just
good
made
things
myself
about
$3.
I hear good things about Ace McLeod.
I hear good things about Ace McLeod. Yep. Ace McLeod. Make it 4.
Nice.
Maybe by the end of this, I'll have $5. But anyhow, let's see. The Grinch has a special message for you, Mark. Okay, he cannot attend your Christmas party, and this is why.
4 o'clock, wallow in self-pity. 5 o'clock, solve world hunger. Tell no one. 5:30, jazzercise. 6:30, dinner with me. I can't cancel that again. 7 o'clock, wrestle with myself. Loading. I'm booked.
Okay, there you go.
That's the Jim Carrey version, too.
That most certainly is. Yes. You know, now we gotta stop doing the maybe we should stop doing the whole spiel. But you know, you can keep the restraining orders coming, because let's face it, it's cheaper than toilet paper. But
thanks, Wes.
By the way, I wanted to apologize. I wanted to apologize to you again for our interview. Oh my God, I cannot believe it.
No. You don't understand, Wes. Your tech support issues are legendary at this point. So when you call up and say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna pipe this," by the way, there's some reverb. In fact, that I'm having reverb in the background right now is killing me. That you're piping.
You have reverb?
Well, no, I'm hearing myself in your system. Do you have me gone in some speakers?
There.
Well, that's right. Anyway, the fact that you were going through a whole nother computer and then through a mixing board, which you just picked up recently, and you thought it was like, oh yeah, it's totally work. And not only did it not broadcast, but then it didn't even record.
Yeah. This is what happened. It did record.
I guarantee you, Peanut Gallery can hear it. When I'm talking, I can hear myself in the background on your side.
Oh, that is so freaking weird. That shouldn't be like that. It's never been.
So
that
no,
way
you don't have to apologize, because I expect nothing less than a tech support apocalypse when it comes to your stuff.
This is a very touchy little unit, and the thing is that as far as the broadcast not going out live, that wasn't me. They changed the password and didn't tell me.
That's all right.
Oops.
But then it didn't record.
But I did
By
record
the way, I have a quote for you from the Peanut Gallery. It
Go
goes
ahead.
exactly like this: annoying people with no class at all should stay far away from computers.
He made that one up himself.
No, that
from was done by
Brian Barton,
AKA Brian Barton.
Oh crap! We got 20 seconds till the break. Say something. Say something funny.
All right. Shout out to Zulu and everybody in the chat. Keep it flat.
Well, you still got 10 seconds.
Oh, really? 1, 2. Oh yeah.
Killing me.
Ace McCloud. Ace McCloud.
Ace
$5.
McCloud. All right. And with that, we say goodbye to Wes, because I don't want to hear my voice anymore being echoed back to me. All right. We're coming back from the final break in 3 minutes, and then we'll wrap it up. We'll pick up 832-980 and probably 303 after that, if the music kicks in, which is 10 seconds late.
It seems to me so strange. Check wallet for his name. His face is in the muck. I think his zipper's stuck.
Real people, real radio. Wherever you are, make it TFR. Truth Frequency Radio.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 4 of 4. It is a call-in show, and yeah, that was Joe Jackson stepping out from his album Night and Day. Okay, let's get right to it. Let's see if we can knock out the rest of these calls before the timer runs out. First one is going to be, I believe it's going to be 832, and then we'll jump to 980. So let's do 832 first. 832, are you there?
Oh my God, am I live?
Unless this is an elaborate voicemail hoax, then yes, you are live.
Oh, awesome. Hey, long-time caller, first-time answer. I love the Phil Sargent show.
That's good. I'm going to steal that.
One of my favorites. Shout out to me, obviously. But what's up, Mark?
That's also a first. That's really good. Shout out to me, obviously.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh, yeah. This is Ace, by the way.
Yeah, Ace.
Sure
It is. Oh
now.
crap! I thought it was Snacks to the Future. Crap. Well. Either way.
Same difference. I guess.
Yeah, same difference.
Not
What's
really.
happening?
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Did you notice Owen Benjamin by any chance? I swear I thought I saw you in his chat. I
was in Owen
Benjamin.
Benjamin's chat. I've just been getting a crash course on this guy over the last couple days. Yeah.
Yeah, it was going so fast. Yeah, he went from total normie, like literally a couple months ago, to everything. Like he was super normie, and now he's talking about the moon landings and without any reserve whatsoever.
Yeah, he's got a raging hard on against the moon landing right now, and he even picks on Joe Rogan. I love his impression of Joe Rogan. It's just, oh my God, he's just tearing him apart. He's every time. I mean, he doesn't. It's not even a good impression. It's just he's making fun of his verbiage every time. It's like, yo, man, it's like weed, man. Weed. It's like what? Because Joe, promotes weed whenever he can, and he's now he's not a flat earther, but he's just tearing it up against the moon landing. There is no, I mean, maybe it was Steph Curry that pushed him over the edge, but he's just shredding the moon landing now.
Yeah, well, the thing is, if you look at his subscriptions, it's ODD, and there's several others in there. And in fact, I think, I didn't see it, but I was told he was playing an ODD clip, I believe, about the moon landing. So he's had to have come across it, and he doesn't really mention it one way or another. So I think he's like looking into it right now.
I'm sure he is too, but he's not going to say he's not going to say the words yet.
Yeah, not yet. I think he might though. I'm giving him 3 days. Is what I said. But he's got to. And in fact, his chat the other day was just infested.
I just want to shout out to Ace.
Oh no! How did you get in here?
Zulu, what's up, man?
Wait, did Zulu? Oh my God! So Zulu, I'm sorry. So Zulu came in. He said hi, and then he hung up. that was his thing.
How does that even work?
No. Peanut Gallery said unmute Zulu for a second. And I said, okay. And that's exactly what he did. He came on for like a second, said his thing, and then he was gone. So I'm sorry. I didn't mean to break your train of thought. Go ahead.
Oh, no. That was it. That'd be a good win, I think.
Yeah.
He was semi-famous while ago.
I mean, he's been he's done the comedy club circuit. He knows a lot of these people. He's rubbed elbows with a whole bunch of celebrities. And now he's like you said, now he's gone from completely towing the line status quo to conspiracies are everywhere, man. You don't believe anything.
You know what makes it official for me is I think it was yesterday or the day before, anyways, in his live chat, all the flat earth trolls were there doing their little damage control shit. So it's real now.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's all I had. I wanted to shout out to Owen Benjamin. Hopefully he'll be joining the family soon.
I hope so. Cool. Hopefully Owen will call us eventually. Or who knows? I mean, if he's tied to ODD, I mean, it's only a rock throw away from everybody else. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And shout out to Karen B and Mishka.
That is so weird. That is so weird that you would say shout out to Karen B, because I swear I just heard her skulking around recently. Karen.
Oh yeah.
Karen.
That should be interesting.
Karen. Oh my God. She's
hello?
Karen,
no, there's no Karen B here. This is special call
Is this
from Russia.
Sylvia?
I'm calling to discuss something I seen with you, Mark Sargent.
Oh my God.
Is this the New Earth channel? Who is this? Some Russian lady?
There's Mark Sargent. I know you're familiar with Owen Benjamin channel.
Oh my God. Oh, it's brilliant. I have never heard you do a Russian accent, Karen. That's awesome. And you roll your R's just perfectly. That's great
Yes,
stuff.
Kelsey Grammer in Dark Forces Around Him is the name of Owen Benjamin's new live stream, yet he does not discuss Kelsey Grammer in any manner in this live stream, and I'm wondering why he has this title.
That's awesome. That's really, really great. I didn't know. I didn't know that was the case. And Owen Benjamin, I literally did not 2 days ago. I didn't know anything about the guy. And then I think DITRH sent me a link, and it was like, wow, really? And he does that live stream, and there's 3,000 people on it, and the chat thing is just flying, and there's a lot of flat earthers in there. I saw the American version of Karen in there. So.
Yeah, listen. I'm going to call out Owen Benjamin right now. I'm calling him out. Sorry. Not sorry. I think he's full of BS.
Wait, you mean you don't believe that he's anti-moon, or you think he's trolling?
No, I think he's trolling. I think.
Oh, come on! I don't know, because he was drinking quite a few beers when he was doing that podcast, and he wasn't. I didn't see him crack a smile the entire time. He seemed pretty conspiracy angry.
Listen, Mark.
What?
Mark.
What?
Why would Owen Benjamin have a live stream called Kelsey Grammer and the Dark Forces Around Him now? What is Kelsey Grammer in the news for right now that promotes a live stream called Kelsey Grammer and the Dark Forces Around Him?
I don't know, because I have not seen Kelsey in the news recently. Is he?
For years, right?
So.
For what now?
Yeah, well, no. I mean, he's been doing a few
haven't
things
heard
here
his
and there.
name
I
in
mean, he
years.
was in the news recently because
Let me just paint a picture for you. Let me just paint a picture for you.
Okay, do it.
I'm calling out Owen Benjamin as full of crap right now, because right now, Owen Benjamin, with 197,000 subscribers, has a live stream right now called 184 Kelsey Grammer and the Dark Forces Around Him. Yet he's not even discussing anything related to Kelsey Grammer. Okay, and here's the other thing. Red Pill Philosophy is a channel on YouTube that has 192,000 subscribers, and whenever Red Pill Philosophy goes live, do you know how many live streamers or viewers he has in his live streams?
No, I do not.
100, 120, about less than 200.
That's
because
not a lot.
I go to his live streams and I see him, or I don't even get alerts for his live streams. For a guy that's got both of these guys have almost 200K subscribers, right? One goes live. Owen Benjamin is live right now. He's got 3,268 watching right now on a live stream called Kelsey Grammer and the Dark Forces Around Him. Red Pill Philosophy goes live talking about flat Earth. Globe Earth is a lie. Flat Earth is the truth. He's got less than 200 people watching with 192,000 subscribers.
And while you were saying that, I was looking through headlines over the last couple days that may have any Kelsey Grammer thing in here, and I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah, there's nothing interesting, right? There's nothing to me that jumps out that says, hey, we need to have a live stream called Kelsey Grammer and the Dark Forces Around Him. Kelsey Grammer isn't even a public flat earther.
Am I right? Yeah, Ixnay on the.
That's what I'm saying. He's not a flat earther.
No, he's not. No, he's not. Right.
So what is the deal here?
I don't know. But in all fairness, I know that you are out of the three people that are in this conversation right now, you are probably the most suspicious of us. You tend to err on the side of caution, and I totally appreciate you for that. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know this guy from Adam. So if he is doing a live stream with Kelsey Grammer in the title, even though I'm looking through the headlines and I don't see anything about Kelsey anywhere in the headlines, other than Kate thinks climate change is exaggerated. They're talking about a Frasier reboot, blah, 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 and the new show he's shooting up in Chicago. No, I don't know. So, hey, you could be right. Maybe. It's possible. Why would I doubt you? Or your Russian alter ego?
I don't know why you would doubt.
Well, Kelsey Grammer's a comedian, right?
No. He's strictly stage.
He was a comedian originally.
No, I don't think he was.
I know he's like Shakespeare trained.
Yeah. He's formally trained actor and television icon, but not stand up. And he play. Of course, everyone thinks because he was in a sitcom he played the same sitcom character for 20 years. That
I thought he did stage shows of some form, like
but not
live
entertainment. But they weren't. No, not like Stephen Wright and George Carlin and guys like that.
Right.
No.
I'm just wondering if they had ever met.
That's a good question because
maybe
I keep forgetting this guy's name. What's the comedian's name again? That you're calling out there? Owen. Okay, I gotta remember that. I don't know. I don't think
Benjamin, who last night in his live stream was saying that the moon landings were fake, and then he said, "Oh, everybody wants to say because you think the moon landings are fake that the world is flat." He's like, "No, the world isn't flat. It's a ball." Blah blah blah. It's like he wants to bring everybody to the cusp of flat Earth, and then just say no. But that's just too far.
No.
That's just too far.
I don't know. I felt I had that tinge of when I was listening to him. You know how conspiracy people they when they get on a rant, they get that sort of that bite in their voice. Kind of like that little bit of anger, that little bit of hostility going. That you can't trust anything, man. That was the tone he had rolling, and I never saw him pull back from that. So. Maybe again. I'm not gonna shoot down your theory. You might be right, and if you are, great, fantastic. If you're not, then there will be some sort of debt owed to me when we meet in North Carolina, and I don't know what that'll be yet. But it'll be something grade schoolish, like slave for a day, maybe.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm in.
All right. Do you want? Okay. So who's
shout out to kombucha? I'm an official kombucha shill now.
What is kombucha?
Gotta get that in there. Dude, it's a fermented tea. It's like super probiotic, but it's really good. So I just had some one day over at Bob's, and Jaron was there, and then I ended up bringing it in and giving it to people, and they've never had it, and now they all like it. So.
All right. Before I kick both of you guys off eventually, Karen, was there anything else that you that you wanted to say?
That I wanted to
well, other than calling out the stand-up comedian Owen Benjamin about his weird podcast, was there anything else you wanted to any shout outs you wanted to do? Any, I don't know, musical numbers?
What did you really want to say?
I wanted to say that I don't know. I don't know.
You got nothing.
I don't know. I got nothing. Shout out to Zulu1 and everybody in his chat, and shout out to Dr. Zach, because nobody ever gives Dr. Zach shout outs, and he does really good stuff.
No.
But
cool.
He also hides out a lot, so.
I should do a shout out. Dan the Waterman, I spoke to him today, and he wanted me to do a shout out to Zern Music, if he's listening, because Zern, if you guys don't remember, he wrote quite a few Flat Earth tracks, and
old
I met
school,
Zern.
Yeah,
I met
but
Zern in real life.
Zern got his channel taken down because he had some videos up there that were considered community guideline worthy, and they torched him. And unfortunately, he didn't have much in the way of backups anywhere. It's like he kept it all in the cloud. Word to the wise, kids, don't keep it all in the cloud just in case. Get some freaking flash drives or something, anything. Anyway, so he's kind of feeling down. He needs a little more love.
I know. Zern, it's all good. Just redo it. You can sing those songs again, boy. Just do it again.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's got to
show up in a chat every once in a while.
Yeah.
Nice.
I hadn't heard.
I met Zern at a meetup in Charlotte with Brian Mullen. That was my first meetup. Was a meetup put on by Brian Mullen and his wife.
Wow, how's that?
That's pretty epic meetup.
Zern was there.
That's pretty weird, considering you're one of the few people to have met Brian.
Yes, I know. I feel very special. It was my first Flat Earth meetup, too.
You should. You should feel special. As a matter of fact, Brian is going to go down as a legend. I got a fake Brian Mullen email from a troll recently.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I forgot to tell people that I got a fake Brian Mullen email, written from him with a spoofed email saying that he wanted me to encourage people to pull down any videos with him in it. That his life is, you could tell it absolutely was not him, and why he was coming to me in the first place. Brian and I have never even spoken, and but I couldn't believe it. It's like, I think it was like one of those MGTV fake emails, because he sends emails from different people all the time, and I thought, oh, Brian Mullen, that's a new twist, because Brian doesn't email anybody, so why not, right?
No, he doesn't do anything. I'm still friends with his wife on Facebook, and she's very sweet. I mean, she was at the meetup too. They're both very kind, just really great people. And if they want to be left alone, they should be left alone.
Cool.
Brian did his part. His videos are mirrored everywhere. That's his legacy.
Yep. Well, that in the conference, at least, starting up the motivation for the conference. All right, you guys. I will probably talk. I will probably talk to you later at the after thing. There's a couple people I want to pick up before we close this thing down, and blah blah blah. We'll talk soon. So mute and mute.
Gone. Whatever.
Etc.
Gone. Both of you are gone. I get the last word because it's my show. All right, let's go to 303 air code. 303. You're on with Strange World right now.
Hey, how you doing, Mark?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good.
This is Ted the architect from Denver.
Hey, what's going on, Ted the architect?
I sent you an email. I sent you an email this week earlier, and I wonder if you got it. It was a picture of my logo on my title block, which is a map of the AE map, and no one has ever noticed what it is. But I said it was. I've yet to draw anything on a curved piece of paper.
Ah, good one. Good one. Yeah.
Get it?
Oh yeah, and people making fun of. Go ahead.
No. You. Please.
Okay, I was going to say that that was something that people used to poke fun at Flat Earth about, which was, how can the Earth be curved if all the maps are flat? You go, not bad at all.
Well, it's very ridiculous when you hear about, people don't design bridges or buildings, with a curve built in, and it's just so silly from a design standpoint. That never happened.
Right.
So I have a question. The question is, what do you think of this idea? And I will tell you my idea. So the trouble with Flat Earth and getting the word out is you're on the front end and you're teaching people facts, but there are people who are not receptive to it.
Right.
And so they're not receptive. It's just so huge. But you have events in the past where in the 60s they had these space programs. And now recently they have this Myres movie with, what's his name. And what I'm saying is the the state, if you want to call it that, the elite, the Illuminati, whoever it is sort of training our minds into the fake stuff. So when the real thing comes around, the real hoax, it's not such a shock. We've been acclimated.
Yep,
right?
absolutely. Yeah.
So what if there were a web fiction, web only, obviously, because no one would allow this on the airwaves, but something where it's like a sitcom-y kind of, or show that is about the elite. It's about how the top richest 100 people, maybe there's focuses on one family, let's say, and how do they go through their daily lives? And you think about like The Sopranos. Well, he's a gangster, but he has a family, and he's got to deal with like dropping his kids off at school. Or Breaking Bad, he's a meth cook, but he's got. So like, in order to acclimate people towards flat Earth, we can go to the front lines and start proving them the 8 inches per mile squared, etc. And that just falls on deaf ears. So many times. People are just blind. But then what if there was something that would work on their subconscious, subliminally, like some program that would show a day-to-day, like, oh, I'm going to go in my underground bunker to go on my high-speed train to go to Washington and talk to this guy. And, and these are depictions of, like, hypothetically, because we don't really know who they are, but they're the, I don't know, just thought I'd bounce that idea off of you.
Interesting. I had not really thought of that one. It might work. If anyone's out there up to the challenge, or if they want to flesh it out, email me. Let me know. Huh. Sure.
Yeah, I have nothing in mind, but it could be really funny. But, like, what do these powerful people do? I mean, they're, like, so wealthy that money's not an object.
Right.
But how do they, they put on their pants one leg at a time, right?
Right.
They must have a family life. They probably have 20.
Oh, yeah. It's usually extensive families because you want to keep the lineage going. And then their day-to-day for a lot of them is trying to steer society in a certain direction. If they can, be it regional or country or continent. It really depends. It's hard to say because, remember we're talking about the top 1% of the top 1%, and most people can't relate to what you do when you get that sort of money. Although what we do know is, as far as I can tell anyway, is they don't have immortality. I use Paul Allen as a perfect example, even though he's new money. When he died and he didn't have family, he didn't have any kids. He had $20 billion. And it didn't save him at all. Of course he had good doctors, but I'm sure he died with some very expensive drugs, but it didn't save him. And he donated all of it, all the $20 billion went back into the system, went back into charity. So hard to say. He's probably a bad example. There are others that, it's like, okay, we're gonna, see if the long-term goal, multi-generational thing where you're turning society to try to mold it into something that you would like. But remember, you're also competing against other people on the other side of the board, which are trying to do the same thing and trying to turn it the other direction. So anyway, we got 60 seconds until.
But go ahead.
We got 60 seconds till the music kicks in.
Yeah.
So shout outs. What do you want to say before you go?
Shout out to Denver Flatheads.
Right on. Cool, man. All right. With that, I'm going to say goodbye to you for now. And he's gone just like that, magically. All right. And I'm sorry I had to cut him off like that, but we got 30 seconds till we do this. And so Peanut Gallery's bugging me. He's going, time. It's like, yeah, I get it. So I will be here next week. I will be doing it live. I'm not going to do a pre-record. I know there's some people who are going to do pre-records. I'm not going to because mine's later in the evening, so I will be done with dinner. But I will be here next Tuesday, same flat time, same flat channel. So hopefully you guys will be there too. And I know Peanut Gallery says he's going to be there. Of course, he's a couple hours ahead, so what do I care? And that's it. So until next time, guys, come on. The music is 10 seconds late. Somebody ought to report that. Anyway, see you guys.
representing not only the United